We're back with another episode.
This episode of The Face Off with Fleming and Fowler is sponsored by MyApothecary.com. My Apothecary is the premier online destination for hemp-derived CBD that will help you curate a wealthy lifestyle. The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed during the Face Off with Fleming and Fowler podcast series are solely those of the individuals involved and do not necessarily represent any specific employer, organization, committee, or other group or individual. The primary purpose of this podcast series is to educate and inform. This podcast series does not constitute medical or other professional advice or services. All right, y'all, welcome to another episode of The Face Off with Fleming and Fowler. We are back here.
I got a fresh lineup, fresh outfit, but to help the parking lot, I'm smashed. I'm going to do it every time.
Got
125 on the dash.
My mic doesn't want to cooperate today. I'm sorry. It's going to keep falling.
How are you doing? You know what? No, I don't even want to hear how your week is because you've had the whole week off of work and I have been slaving away.
Ma'am, didn't you just come back from Universal? You've had 5 vacations this whole year.
I just have this opinion that I am entitled to the time off of everyone else.
No, that's not how that works.
I think if you're not at work, shouldn't have to be there either.
Well, what about when you're not at work?
Well, it doesn't work both ways.
See, that's so wrong. So wrong. That's not equality, ma'am. Okay. No. Yeah, so I have been off for the past 5 days.
Feels like years.
6 days. I have 6 days off, which is great. And I chose to do absolutely nothing but just sit around the house and chill. I did finish my laundry room finally, thank God. But
so it was a true vacation, true time off.
Yes, definitely. It was amazing. I was grateful for that. I needed that. I just woke up every day. Well, my body still woke up at 7 o'clock or 6 o'clock in the morning. And then I just go on TikTok for a couple minutes and I go back to sleep. And then my phone be on the floor. But anyway, so that was comforting. But yeah, it was great. I did a lot of reflection, a lot of sleeping, a lot of, just organizing and stuff like that. So it was great.
There's nothing better than waking up and choosing not to leave your home.
Absolutely. I only went out, I think, 2 days. And one of the days was a pointless staff meeting. And then the other one was, I went to the store. Yes, absolutely. And I immediately needed to come back in my house. And I was like, nope.
And it's so flipping hot outside.
It's too peoply outside right now.
It's too peoply. It's too hot. It's 100 degrees at all times. And it's blazing heat.
Yeah. Even when I was cutting up the wood, because I made my own shelves, floating shelves in my laundry room. And even when I was out in my garage, but I had my garage door up, cutting on my table saw. And I was just like, no.
It's too hot to be a person right now.
It really is. It's too hot to have skin.
Yeah, literally to do anything
it's
but
horrible.
Sit in the AC. I can't do it.
Yeah, it's god awful. I was just like,
it's hot in the morning. It's hot at night. There's no reprieve.
No, and I'm just like, this is why I always love the wintertime. And people are always like, oh, I'm so ready for the summer. And I'm like, shut up. Shut up. Shut up.
I will say that for end of July, August, it's not as hot as it normally is. So I'm hoping that means we'll have a cool winter again. Or is it the cool winter is it because the winter was so cold that we have this, I want to call it a moderate summer, but it's literally 100 degrees outside.
Well, the ice caps are melting, so who knows what's going to happen. We might have a tsunami here in Texas. Who knows?
You never know. We're pretty landlocked. I feel safe, but...
you never know. 2012.
I think the guns and the right wings will get me before the water will, but... I am 58% white now, though, so.
Oh, God, you're going to ride this 58%
I will ride it to the bank.
The day you die.
I was talking to my uncle about my house, and I was like, I gave him the gate code. He said, a gate code? I said, 58%.
It's like, what's his name? Soldier Boy. Drake, a gate code. You're bougie. My community keeps trying to get a gate, and they're like, can we put a gate at the entrance? And they're like, no, Karen. You know how much money it's going to take to do that, and sometimes the gate's going to be broken. People are going to be giving out the code to everybody, and so there's really no point in having it. And I'm just like, wow.
I've given the code to everyone. I was like, come see me, even if people I've never talked to in my life. I'm like, do you think you might come over? Here's the gate code.
You haven't even invited me over to your house yet, and I'm your damn co-host.
It's not ready for you.
What do you mean?
Until there's seating. I just got furniture on Friday.
So?
Wasn't ready for you.
But you're ready for random strangers that you haven't talked to in years?
Yeah, I don't care about them.
Shameful. Shameful. How was your week this past week?
My week was busy because we're just trying to get the house finished so I can move in, even though I don't want to. When I tell you, my mom packed up my shit from her house.
She's like, pack your shit and get out.
Literally, so I had a bunch of stuff in storage, but I also have a bunch of stuff at her house, and my grandpa had come over to have breakfast on Saturday.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh, Dad, you want to go see Alyssa's house? And he was like, sure. And she's like, oh, you know what? There's a couple things that she might want to take over so we can start getting her stuff over. When I tell you, this woman loaded up his van.
Wow.
Tubs and tubs and tubs of shit. And was like, should we take the closet? And I was like, no, I need a closet. Stop trying to take. I'm not living over there yet.
Listen, your mom is ready for you to get the hell out of her house.
Surely she is. She was like, when are you going to move out? And I was like, surely in 2 weeks. She's like, 2 weeks? You said at the beginning of August.
And the thing is, she's going to be at your house every single damn day too.
Probably. I'm gonna be back at hers. I'm like, I have no groceries. I have no cable and or like Apple TV at this point.
When she cooks, you're gonna be like, hey mom, what's for dinner? So.
I literally told her, I was like, I'm not moving out of this house until I either find my Apple TV or we figure out a streaming situation, because I'm not gonna sit there not doing anything. And she's like, let's go to Target, let's go to Best Buy, what do you want? And I was like, why do you want to get rid of me so bad?
She's ready to get you out of the house.
I was like, well, you were living it up when I was gonna move home, and now look at you.
She's probably ready for your brother to get out too.
Probably. She literally once a week will be like, well, you could have your rent paid if you would just let me send your brother over here.
Oh my God.
No, I'm not living with my 18-year-old brother.
No, he needs to find his own way, and he needs to stay in your mom's house, honestly, as long as he can.
God, it's insane.
Yeah, but you all get along though very well.
We do get along. We're just
he's a guy.
It's just you're with your family all the time. You need some space. So I've been busy with the house. I think I dissociate at work now. I cannot tell you anything that has happened at work.
Yeah, because I was trying to look for the tea, like, hey, what's the tea, girl? And you were like,
there was no tea. We came in, we did the job, and we left. We had that awful staff meeting where
nothing was answered.
We were basically told this job sucks and it's going to keep sucking and sucks for you.
Yeah, suck it up.
Suck it up, yeah. So that was really enlightening.
Yeah.
But no, nothing big.
Interesting. Well, you ready to go ahead and get on into it?
Let's dive in.
All right. So here's the deal. We're going to start this episode. We're going to start this episode off in the rehab corner today because we got a lot to delve through, but we figure we always put the rehab corner at the very end, so we're going to start it at the beginning now. So, of course, everybody has, the Olympics has officially started in Tokyo, Japan, and everybody's over there having a great time, winning all these medals, doing what they do, right, representing their countries. Literally the day that we released our last episode, Simone Biles announced that she was withdrawing from the team gymnastics, the gymnastics team in the finals because of her mental health. And then later on in the week, she ended up revealing that she was also no longer going to be doing the singles finals as well. And she's pretty much just dropping out. She's done, but she's there supporting her teammates, doing what she needs to do. And the amount of backlash that this girl got for doing what she needed to do to, number one, protect her life, because I don't think people really realize how much gymnasts actually have to do and how mentally strong they need to be in order to protect their bodies. Because there was a girl some years ago who did this crazy stunt and she went up and landed wrong, broke her fucking neck.
Yeah.
And she's now paralyzed. I think she died though, like years ago, but or a few years ago, she ended up dying. But it was just amazing and really disgusting to see the amount of kind of backlash that Simone Biles got, especially from people who sit on the couch and couldn't even live a day in her shoes, as a gymnast. It was just disgusting.
Here's what I don't like. So when this happened that morning, I was getting coffee.
Right. Uh-huh. Some people do that.
Some people do it. I've seen it done, not by me. Anyway, I was on my 15-minute break getting my coffee.
Yeah.
And downstairs they have those TVs playing. Mm-hmm. And it was like Simone Biles slipped on the stunt, injured, out for the rest of the tournament.
Yeah.
So I was like, she's hurt herself, right? Then they start running, oh, it's mental health. Then she has to go out there and be like, I'm not hurt. This is what's happening. First thing, why are we saying it's an injury if it's not? Why are we trying to play that game? I don't like that. Second of all, doesn't she have people to do this shit for her? Where is someone out there saying, hey, it's mental health, it's this and that. She's not taking questions. We're not doing all this shit. This is what's going on and we're withdrawing. Why does she have to go out there and do that herself?
I think for the Olympics, you don't have PR. Like you are, even though you're representing the United States, you still are a single entity.
That's such bullshit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even Naomi Osaka, when she basically pulled out of the French Open, she had to still come and do her own press conference. And remember, she refused to do it, and they were like, "Okay, well, we're gonna fine you $15,000." She was like, "I got it. Did you see me blink? Okay, add 15 more thousand onto it. I don't care."
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's why they can't really have PR over there. I don't even know.
I was just like, or a coach or so.
Yeah.
I know that there's no PR, but like, if you're dealing with all of that shit, you shouldn't have to go out there and be like, explain yourself.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think, but some of these people too are just like especially the coaches. Like, remember the what was her name? Marta Cavalli or whatever, and her husband. Like they're the husband and wife couple that they no longer coach, or the husband was no longer able to coach or allowed to coach because of all that stuff that happened with the sexual assault. And I saw this video on TikTok where this lady was talking about with regard to mental health, and Simone Biles, like, this girl was sexually assaulted. And
returning to the same where she was sexually assaulted.
Like, do you know how much that plays on your mental? And then people saying like, well, oh, you took a spot from somebody else, and if you knew you were going to do this, and you got to be mentally strong and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, first of all, again, this girl is a gymnast. This girl is flipping her body up in the air at all kind of crazy speeds. If you are not mentally focused, you're going to, and she literally even said, she was like, my legs are dead. Like she's like, I'm getting lost in the air. And the fact that she can't concentrate enough to be able to land what she needs to land, she's gonna kill herself.
Mm-hmm. It's not worth it.
It's not worth it. Or a gold-plated medal?
The last time she was there and dealing with all this, right, she had that crazy sexual stuff going on.
Yeah.
Sexual assault.
Yeah.
Stuff going on. And I will not pretend to know her situation or how she coped or whatever, but so many people dissociate from that, or they just focus on what they need to do so they can break away from that. So the last time she was here under crazy mental stress, came, kicked ass, did what she needed to do, probably just tried to fucking block everything out. She's there again. That guy's not there. Everyone knows. Everyone watched the whole fucking documentary about it. The trial was everywhere.
And it's on the world
People
stage.
know what happened to her.
Yeah. And it's embarrassing too.
And you're there again, and you have all this pressure. You did so well last time, and now your rapist is gone.
Yeah.
And all of these, the person that was sexually assaulting. So no.
Yeah, it's a whole lot. And I mean, first of all, I think it was very brave of her to step down on the world stage. But I also think too, there's a second part of this that I think a lot of people are not talking about. The fact that this young lady is doing these amazing, crazy stunts. And yes, they are dangerous, but the reality is she's setting the bar even higher for people coming after her, which is what you're supposed to do. And they refuse they refuse to judge it at the same level and say, well, the highest score we can possibly give you is a 6.6 because other people can't do this.
So fuck that.
Sorry,
I'm not
what the
do
fuck?
It. So because no one else works as hard as I do, or as talented as I am.
Right, you're gonna penalize me for knowing how to do that shit? Like, what? That is insane. So I honestly feel like part of 50% of it was mental health, but the other 50% was like, oh, I'm gonna show y'all better not to tell you.
She's also I would be so fucking tired of that shit. You're telling me I'm gonna work my ass off. I'm gonna be one of the fucking best gymnasts in the world. I'm giving out everything I have. I'm showing the fuck out here on the world stage, and you're still gonna dock me. And I'm sure if some little white girl was doing this shit, we wouldn't be having this conversation. Exactly. If she was from Russia and 14 years old.
Yep.
No.
Exactly. Because them Russians, they don't
Gen
play.
Z, baby.
Yeah, Russians do not play. They go crazy for gymnastics. I mean, that's probably the biggest sport they can ever, have or whatever. And they really celebrate that. So for you to sit here and this girl literally carrying the weight of her team on her shoulders, it was the same thing with Gabby Douglas. Gabby Douglas is the same thing. She went through the same thing where, unfortunately she was sexually assaulted as well by the same physician, and, being on this world stage, having all of this pressure, all the cameras being on her. And it's just like, if you don't perform well, then what? Because even too, when you look at the salary that people get for medals,
no, nothing in the U.S.
$37,500 for a gold medal.
So I was talking to my mom about this, and I was just like,
insane.
In Singapore, you get this, and you're $1
million.
All this stuff. She goes, do you want to live in Singapore?
That's very true.
I was like, she's like, do you want to live in any of those other countries? And I was like, probably not. She's like, yeah. She's like, it
Canada.
Sucks. I would probably live in Canada.
I would live in Canada. Canada's very similar to the United States.
Do you remember there was this girl who was a gymnast for UCLA, and she did like the floor routine. She had short curly hair, but it was like to Michael Jackson and all these like
Black girl? Yeah.
So my fucking mom on Facebook, she watches everything, but there's this little like Facebook documentary clip, and it's talking about her, and she was I think she scored higher than Simone Biles. They were like neck and neck.
Wow.
And she was an elite. She was supposed to go to the Olympics, and she had gained some weight and was just getting so much shit from coaches, and she was under so much stress that she was like, fuck this, I'm going to college. So she went to UCLA, and there was a new gymnast coach who had never taught gymnastics before, and was just kind of trying to be the hard ass coach that was like, winners make sacrifices or something, losers make excuses, and was kind of just drilling them. And this girl was just like, I'm not doing anything you tell me, I'm not responding to any of this is such bullshit, da 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 da. And finally that coach decided to be like, I'm not going to talk to you about sports outside of the gym. Let's work on our relationship. What's going on? What do you want to do? You're so, because she was like, I don't want to be great anymore. This girl said, it was so sad. She was like, this is such bullshit. She was like, my worth was so tied to gymnastics. I didn't know what would happen if I wasn't good. So I had to make myself bad. So I knew it was my choice. But she was like, people told me I was a pig, that I was so fat as soon as I was gaining weight, all of this crazy shit. And I was like, I cannot imagine being under that kind of stress.
Yeah. And the thing is too, like gymnastics is, as much as it's a team sport, it really is an individual sport.
Yeah.
Because you don't have a person that you can just throw a ball to finish
when
the rest
fall,
of it. You know, you fucking fall. I saw this one girl in Tokyo today. This bitch was on the high bars, okay? And she flipped around and then she tried to come up off of it and catch it, and bip, her whole face just bow on the floor. And I'm like, where the coach at? When you supposed to catch her? Then she went back up there. She was like, okay, I'm gonna do it again. Fell and hit her face again. I'm like, ma'am, don't do that a third time. Don't do it a third time. I think you broke your nose enough. Don't do it. But yeah, I mean, I think it's insane that, you know, when you're coaching someone, you have to understand who your players are. And every player doesn't respond the same exact way. I remember when my sister was playing basketball all throughout high school and in college. I'll just go back to high school because I didn't know her college basketball coach, but the high school basketball coach actually grew up with my aunt and is one of my aunt's really good friends. And the way that she would talk to certain people, they could handle it because she knew her players. When your player starts to shut down, that's when you need to back off. And it's not that you're not trying to build character or you're trying to be soft on them. You need to be hard and just suck it up. Some people's mental capacity cannot handle you yelling at them. It's the same way we deal with our patients every day. We're literally like mini coaches. We try to convince our patients and manipulate them in a way for the greater good. And you're doing great. You're doing amazing. Let's keep going. But some people, when you yell at them, they shut the fuck down.
Yeah. And I think this coach is a motivational speaker now, but she was kind of talking about how success is doing your individual best.
Yeah.
Like, you cannot compare it to anyone, which we always compare ourselves to everyone else anyway.
Right.
But she's like, and in gymnastics, you can't be unique because everyone does the exact same skill, right? You have to see who does it the best within these lines. So she just was kind of like, what makes you unique? Everyone on this team is unique, and that's what makes us strong. So let's figure it out. And that's when she started doing the routines with the music and doing these awesome skills. When I'm just like, is gymnastics so crazy because it's a Russian thing and like a Asian thing, and those people are just like crazy strict, stern, hard asses? I don't know, dude. Gymnastics is scary.
It is scary, but I think gymnastics is probably like a very old sport, like probably one of the first sports that people had, like to be able to do any kind of sports was just gymnastics. And I think that may be why, and I'm just assuming, but that may be why other countries, they invest so much into gymnastics versus we are, you know, barbarians as Americans in football and basketball and all that kind of stuff. So I think that's really why, because even I remember when my mom, she told me when she was in like middle school and high school, their gym class was gymnastics class.
Wow.
They literally had to do gymnastics. So I'm like, I think that's a very old sport, or like one of the first sports. And so that's why people take it so seriously.
Do you remember like probably 2 or 3 Olympics ago, there were a bunch of girls from China and they looked like they were 12, 14 years old. And we were all like, what the hell?
They start them off at like 2. People are, even Gabby, I think Gabby Douglas started when she was like 9 or 10, and they were like,
I've watched the Gabby Douglas documentary every time I go to the dry bar to get my hair done, the Gabby Douglas Lifetime movie is playing. I don't know what
they do that because you walk in because you're black?
Probably. I thought it was a Black History Month thing because I got my hair done in February.
But
which is Like, yeah.
Black History Month.
Thank you. I got my hair done in February, and this girlfriend of mine was there who was also mixed. And it was, they played the Gabby Douglas movie, and then they played Hidden Figures. And I was like,
wow.
Which, like, the Dry Bar is this white ass place.
Yes, I've been there once.
Yeah. So I was like, is this for us? Like, is this Black History Month? But now that I've seen it multiple times.
Wow.
So
That's interesting.
shouts out to the Dry Bar. You're an ally, I think.
Well, I would hope so. Well,
But she started when she was 9. Yeah,
I put it on my own, like my personal Facebook page. That even with regard to injury and stuff like that, and just mental health, I put on my Facebook status. I said Simone Biles is doing what Carrie Strug should have done years ago, which is say no. Do you know who Carrie Strug is?
Sure don't.
Okay, she was a girl. Remember, in the 1999 Olympics? No,
I was
2000.
5 years old.
Was it 2000 Olympics? Anyway, Dominique Dawes was on that team. Christina Mucciano.
Man, I probably didn't even know what the Olympics was. I was 4.
So well, anyway, this team of women, they went up on the world stage, and it was a team effort, team sport, right? And they were going up against the Russians, and United States and the Russians are like neck and neck. I'm telling you, the Russians are crazy about gymnastics, and so they were like neck and neck. But then they ended up, United States started leading. Well, at the very end, they had to go on the vault, and so the one girl, she slipped twice, and her score was horrible. So then Carrie Strug went up, and when she landed the first time, she ended up what she didn't realize, she broke her fucking ankle. Okay.
Adrenaline question mark? I did not realize that.
Well, no, she realized she broke it because she was limping back, and so she told the coach, which is what his name, Marta is the wife, but something Caroli, whatever his fucking name is. Anyway, and he's a very famous coach, but he can no longer coach. He got banned by the Olympics because of his harsh methods and stuff. And with that whole stuff,
Russian, aren't those the Russian coaches?
Yes, or they're German.
They're European.
I think they're European. Yeah. So she came. So on the last vault, like she literally went to him and was like, "Do I have to do this again?" Because what ended up happening was that whether she did it or not, the United States was still going to win. He was like, no, just do it one more time. Do it one more time. She goes up, runs down this damn thing, flips on that vault, and she lands on one fucking leg, because when she landed, it was like she hit it, and she hit it with both feet, but she immediately took her leg up.
I do. I've
and
seen
she broke
clips
it.
Of that.
Yeah, where they're at the very end when they're on the podium, and and she has the cast on her leg. So this young lady was 19 years old.
A child.
And that ended her gymnastics career at 19.
Prime.
19.
That's insane.
And so I put on my thing, I said, Simone Biles is doing what Carrie Strug should have done years ago, which was to say no. Always protect yourself before allowing the world to put their weight on you. As a physical therapist who has worked in a variety of why can't I read today? As a physical therapist who has worked with a variety of athletes in my career, some injuries are career ending. Most athletes whose careers ended with injuries will tell you that they felt the injury coming, but they didn't want to let their team down, so they ignored what their body was trying to tell them. When athletes are not mentally healthy or mentally in the moment, they are more prone and susceptible to injuries. Simone Biles saying no on the world stage was so courageous. When your body is your livelihood, you have to move different. And even from a physical therapy standpoint, like, I don't think people, again, really understand the mental fortitude that any athlete has to have in order to make sure that their body is good. I mean, when I was in PT school, one of my professors, rest his soul, Dr. Bill, he died of pancreatic cancer before we graduated. But he used to work with the high school team, because my college had a high school team has high school attached to it. So the high school football team, that was our way of practicing like our athletic stuff or whatever. So we would go to the games, and everybody got a turn to go. But if he really liked you, he would just let you go all the time. And we got a chance to wrap the kids and stuff like that. But I mean, you have these high school kids, 14, 15 years old, that are injured,
sacrificing their body.
Yes. For a ball, for nothing. They're not even making any money. You're talking about winning a gold medal and winning $37,000, and do you have to split that between whoever's on your team?
And my thing with Simone is, I know it's like, you work your whole life. If you're in these kinds of sports, you're working your whole life to go to the Olympics, right? Mm-hmm. And people are like, this is not an easy decision. It's never an easy decision. No. This is your job. This is your performance review. This is your one thing. This bitch has won so many medals already.
She really has.
She's shown everyone everything. So
she has nothing to prove.
I think it is a very hard decision, but I think for her, she was like, no, do y'all know what the fuck I'm capable of? And I'm not even going to be able to do that here. And I can hurt myself. I don't need any of this.
Yeah.
And Gen Z is really pulling it through. All these little girls are like, no, we're okay. Which is funny, I feel like, because parents, what's under boomer?
Under boomer?
Yeah.
Like above it or below it?
Below it. Like what
silent
comes
generation.
After
no, sorry. What comes after the boomers?
After boomers? Is that
Gen X?
Gen X?
I think it's Gen X, yeah.
So, which is your generation?
No, I'm millennial.
No, and then okay, I see. So
Yeah.
Gen X, I feel like is very Gen Z. Millennials are pussies and very whiny and all about their emotions, and they just you need to stick to a job. You have a good job, you have to be there forever,
Yeah.
and you just want to get a house. All these things, right? Because that's how they would do it. And I think finally they're realizing, like, no, it's okay if
Yeah.
you don't do something, even though you've been planning your whole life to do it. It's okay if you quit a job after 2 years. It's okay if you decide that this no longer serves you
Yeah.
and you need to remove yourself.
Right.
And like there becomes a point where that's also toxic and unhealthy and a
Yeah.
horrible coping mechanism if you're just running around. But I feel like the more that people do this and they're okay and they're sensible about it, and you're
Yeah.
saying, no, I'm drawing a boundary and this is it, I'm not going to do it, the more we will all become, realistic about it and
Yeah.
be more normal.
Absolutely. And I think too, again, when it comes to your mental health and making sure that's intact so you don't harm your physical body, which is your livelihood, we're talking about a totally different thing here. You know what I mean? It's not like, well, you know what, my boss just is giving me hell at work. My mental health. It's not, that's not even literally you can kill you. Like even for us at work, we work in an environment where our bodies are our livelihoods. We are in the ICU. We are lifting people, moving people all around. We make one wrong move, our back is completely fucked, and guess what? Our career is over.
Yeah.
Like we can go into teaching, yes, we can do other, ventures or whatever, but the reality is that those teaching jobs are not easy to find. And there's no such thing as light duty for a therapist at all. And so when you have these situations where, again, you're flipping and dodging and doing all this stuff, even like right now with COVID, I think there's a lot of medical professionals that are walking around with PTSD. I honestly feel like I'm one of them, because you cannot convince me to go back into a COVID unit. Like I'm not doing it. I am not I don't have the mental fortitude to do that again for another 9 months. I don't. The amount of, and the thing is, I think it's different now for the people that are in there, because yes, you're seeing death, but we were seeing death
It's not
at
ground zero death.
We were in it at ground zero.
Yeah.
I was in it at
No one
ground
knew
zero.
what was going on. You just
No.
knew you were trying to not even fix it, but just kind of stop something from getting worse.
That first COVID patient that myself and Cointa went in that room, that was the scariest shit, because again, I watch apocalyptic movies and I'm just like, oh God, I'm gonna fucking die. Jesus, just save my life. And when I walked into this room and I'm like, this patient is a patient. They're like, they could be my aunt or my mom or whoever. And then when that lady went to go touch Cointa and the infections, and the lady was like, don't let her touch you, don't let her touch you. And I was like,
because no one knew what the hell to expect. No one knew what was going on.
So it's traumatic. It is extremely traumatic when you see stuff like that. Even when you watch, these collegiate football players that are playing and you see somebody go in for a tackle and all of a sudden they just go limp and hit the ground and they're paralyzed immediately. Like, you can't when you're not mentally focused and when you're not mentally healthy, you're gonna be more susceptible to injury regardless. And we see that every single day. I mean, how many ortho patients do we see that come in? Well, yeah, I kind of felt it tweaking a little bit, but I just drank some water and I just let it go.
No,
you can't do that.
I would say it's almost harder with okay, so like if you're on a spectrum, you have the patients who need to get up, won't get up, don't want therapy, don't want to move, just want to sit in bed, gonna let themselves waste away. You can't get through to them, right? And it's very hard to motivate those people, and it's like pulling teeth, like, please just stand once and then we'll do what you need to do, right? On the other end, you have the people who are like, go, 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 I want to get up, I want to be running by now, I want to be walking. I would say that for me, it's harder with these people because I have to be like, you need to slow down.
Yeah.
So you are pushing yourself way too hard. It's going to cause you more issues. It's harder to pull the reins on someone like that than it is to motivate someone to get up. But some people are just so, I don't know. And I think they're both detrimental.
Yeah,
right?
it really is. And for the people who were talking, I mean, there were so many different like radio co-hosts and newscasters that was just like, oh, she should be ashamed to represent the country and she did this and she did. And I'm like, bitch, get your fat ass up and go try to do what the hell this girl does for 10 minutes. Do one fucking flip and don't see if you break your goddamn neck.
Also, everyone is so stuck on, okay, so like, I feel like in Olympics of the past, right? And it still is a very huge honor to compete in the Olympics.
Is it?
With social media, with the way that the country has been the last 20 years, with the way people are, young people under 40 years old act now, move now, social media, working from home, bloggers, working for yourself, presenting we are not seen as much as a country anymore
Yeah.
as we are individual people.
Right.
When you go to watch a sport in the Olympics, you're watching a celebrity person. You're watching this
Exactly.
person you see on Instagram, or this person that you know their life, or you saw
Yeah.
them do this and that. So it's a very different feeling than like 15, 20 years ago when you were like, oh, the Olympic team, the U.S.
Yes.
Olympic team, da 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 da.
Yeah.
So I just feel like this whole representing the country, you are representing the country, but it's like also, no, you're representing yourself still,
Yeah,
but
definitely.
you're playing for the U.S.
Right.
So I don't know. It's not the same vibe that it
No,
was. You're
it's
not
not.
like, oh, this U.S. team member. No, you're this person who we all see on social media,
Yeah.
and we buy your shoes, and we know who you are and
You're
your
on Wheaties
backstory.
box.
We like that you play for this team.
Yeah.
We like that you've done this, and that's why we're watching you here.
And I think too, you can't negate the fact that when these athletes went to Tokyo, before they even went to Tokyo, Tokyo was like, "Hey, no Black Lives Matter shit up in here," and we were like, "Whoa!"
And then they took our black fucking princess running
Yes, they
shit.
took Shakira and it was like, "Oh, you got some THC in your blood. So what? Her mom died. What the hell?" And then you're gonna put them on cardboard box beds? Oh no! And Simone was like, "I've had enough.
Yeah.
Damn it, you've
She's
done it now, buddy."
tired. That's
yeah.
why I was fucking Tara Davis. Have you seen her in anything? Tara Davis. She wears
that?
like, she's a long braid. She wears the cowboy hat all the time. She's a what do you call
Yeah,
it?
show me a
Long
picture.
jump.
Long jumper?
Long jumper.
Tara Davis?
Yeah.
Let's look her up.
So she made it to the Olympics. She goes to UT Hook'em Horns, or that's just graduated.
Oh yes, I
And
have
her
seen
boyfriend
her.
is in the Paralympics.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, I see this picture.
He's got bilaterals.
Wow. How did he how did
It was
become an-
congenital, and I think his parents made the decision when he was
Really?
young to amputate both of them. So he's been, I think he switched to blades
So did he-
youngish. So he's been running for a while.
Was he at Texas too?
No, he's
I was
from
gonna
like
say.
Arkansas or something. I guess they met in track, but I was just like,
Oh,
if
okay.
they take this girl from me, if some shit pops off with her, I'm done. but she's doing good. So
Listen, I just love the way that the Jamaicans swept the 100. I thought it was
yo,
amazing. Shouts out to the Jamaicans.
I'm rooting for everybody black.
That was a soca siren for them. So
Love
yeah,
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, she deserves to. Anyone who puts their body through any Olympian, right? You don't get to the Olympics by half-assing shit.
She's been training for like the past 3 to 4 years.
And it's your body. You are every day sacrificing your body. You see the worst of shit that can happen. They make movies about it. I'm sure they always talk about it. Everyone's pushing themselves. Isn't she adopted?
Yeah, she is. Her mom, her biological mom, I think is still alive, and she's allegedly addicted to drugs. But the thing is, even from an injury standpoint, gymnastics is probably one of the worst sports you can ever put your body through.
Constant pounding on your body.
Why do you think gymnasts are so fucking short? You're literally pounding the shit out of your growth plate every single time you hit that floor. It's insane.
Anyone who sacrifices their body like that, football player, any of that shit. Oh, I watched water polo the other day. Their hips, I don't know how they're doing that.
They're
shit.
crazy. Even Shawn Johnson. Remember Shawn Johnson from the last Olympics? She career ending. And I'm like, these girls are literally
And
sacrificing
she had
their
an
bodies.
eating disorder. Remember her talking about all that?
Yes.
I'm just like, anyone who does that, I don't care if it's like round fucking 10, you're going back to back with someone. We need you to win this. We want the
No.
glory. You 100% have
The right to say no.
authority to say, actually, I'm out, because guess what? It's not my body. It's
Yeah.
yours. Your body, your choice.
Yeah, your body is your livelihood, man. And,
It
and
is.
again, anybody who is criticizing Simone Biles or even Naomi Osaka for talking about, oh, well, the pressure of the game and all this bullshit, walk 10 minutes in these people's shoes, and then we'll see if your result is the same. Because again, when you are practicing hour after hour, 9 and 10 hours a day on your body, you don't even have a life at that point.
And how many Olympians, past and present, have come out saying, I wish I would have had the courage to
Exactly.
do that. I should have done that. She's making
Exactly.
this more popular for people to do. It
Yep.
would have saved me.
Absolutely. So yeah, shouts out to Simone Biles. Shouts out to Sha'Carri. Shouts out to Naomi Osaka. Take the time to do what you need to do for your body. Fuck these people and their rules, okay?
They weren't with you shooting in the gym.
Exactly. And again, if you're going to not let black people protest the way they want to, Simone Biles was like, I'll show you better than I can tell you. All right, let's just take a quick break and we'll be right back. This episode of The Face Off with Fleming and Fowler is sponsored by MyApothecary.com. My Apothecary is the premier online destination for hemp-derived CBD that will help you curate a wealthy lifestyle.
CBD is one of many restorative compounds found in the cannabis plant. Its benefits include decreased pain, improved mood, decreased anxiety, and much more. Some of y'all know that I have crazy ADHD, so I'm heavily medicated at all times, and I've been taking CBD oil at night to kind of calm me down, get me ready for bed. 10/10 would recommend.
Worried about regulations? The passing of the 2018 Farm Bill made hemp-derived CBD legal to sell and consume. So yes, CBD is 100% legal and perfect for every person of legal age. My Apothecary's featured line, Broad Bloom, offers broad-spectrum CBD oil drops, sports cream, and soft gels. These products have no THC, so you can stay fly without the high or zen without the spin. Shop now at www.myapothecary.com and sign up for their newsletter to get exclusive offers, product releases, and CBD news.
Remember to always check with your healthcare provider before consuming any supplement. You must be 21 to purchase and consume, and shipping is only available in the US of A.
Don't forget to shop at www.myapothecary.com. And ain't nobody been watching. I mean, people been watching because what's her name? She's Asian. Sunny.
Oh, the other gymnast.
Yeah, who won?
First
gold.
of all,
I didn't even know
sorry,
who she
I didn't
was.
mean to cut you off.
No, you're
but
fine.
did you see the press conference after she stepped
Yes, I
down?
did. I did.
And she was basically telling the press, like, anything that they do now has nothing to do with me because they're the ones up there. So you need to talk to them.
Yeah.
I'm here to support them.
And I love that.
If they win, it's on them because they're working hard and they're the ones up there. So we need to stop. And
Yeah.
then freaking all of those girls were like, actually, it's still you. And we do this for you. And you're the one holding our team together. I'm like crying.
Yeah,
in
they
the
were like,
frickin' room.
honestly, if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't have made it to the world stage. I was like, you ain't lying.
And I'm just like, I love Gen Z. As much as Gen Z annoys me. Yes. Gen Z. I
They
just
stick
feel like
together.
they're all here for each other.
Yeah,
I love that.
definitely.
Let's talk about something fun. Do.
All right. So, we also too got to talk about some stuff that's been going on, recently. Lollapalooza.
Yo, first of all, how many fucking people were at Lollapalooza?
First of all, where were the announcements that announced that Lollapalooza was happening? Where were these flyers? Were they on social media?
So I heard about Rolling Loud a lot, which is
Okay.
Miami, but I didn't hear anything about Lolla.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything about that either until I saw a video yesterday where Meg Thee Stallion was in Chicago, and it was 180,000 ignorant ass people in that goddamn stadium, whatever the hell it was.
Packed.
And I'm just like,
It wasn't a state, it's outside.
did y'all not see that the Delta variant is killing everybody? We don't have 180,000 beds, okay, in Chicago. That pissed me off so bad.
First
Pissed
of
me off
all,
so bad.
I'm a Meg Thee Stallion.
I mean, it
She
is
looks
Megan Thee
so
Stallion,
good.
but I'm
And
not
I
dying
get
for
it.
Megan
And
Thee
like,
Stallion.
honestly, people were singing fucking thought shit, like 200,000 people back. Amazing.
No.
But watching that stressed me the fuck out. Watching that group of people.
Yeah, but also too, I think on the backs of Lollapalooza, there was a lot of controversy with the baby this past week.
He said some homophobic shit, or
He
he said
did.
something about AIDS.
But it was homophobic too. So he basically said, and I'll play the little clip. He basically said, put your cell phone
lights
lights
on, or
on
something.
if you don't have any STDs or you don't have HIV or AIDS.
Oh yeah. Then you say like,
Then
if
he
you ain't
said-
sucking dick in the parking lot,
Yes.
put your lights. Oh.
And then he came back and was like, I was doing a call and response. And I'm like,
What's the response?
that was your answer? What was the call? And what was the like? And then the insult to injury, he came back the next day and said some more ignorant shit and was like, all I'm saying is my fans ain't got HIV. My fans ain't doing that nasty gay shit. And I'm like, who the fuck is your PR, you dumb idiot?
So here's my thing about that. Do I think this is fucking ridiculous and he should just shut up? Yes. Do I think that anyone should be looking to DaBaby for, I don't know, advice?
Yeah.
No. Like, everyone likes him because he just puts out trash ass rap trap music
Behind good 808s.
behind good 808. Like, I don't think anyone should be rallying behind DaBaby. Like, well, DaBaby said.
Yeah.
Well, DaBaby said no. So I just like, I get that with celebrities now, we're like, you can't just be out here saying wild shit. But on the
Yeah.
other hand, I'm like, can everyone just fucking agree on the fact that we're never gonna be like, you know, that fucking Chappelle skit where he's like, somebody find Ja Rule. Like, where's Ja Rule?
Yes.
Like, no one gives a fuck about the baby's political ties or what he's
Yeah.
saying. Da, 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 da. He can rock the vote all he wants.
Yeah, I think too it was here's the thing. The baby is, I believe, Gen Z. And I don't think his maturity level, especially when it comes to the stigma around HIV and AIDS, is at the level that millennials have been, especially millennials in the very beginning. Because we don't
remember AIDS.
Exactly. They don't.
Dude,
he
there's
doesn't
no
remember
way
AIDS.
he looks old as shit. I'm gonna look this up, but I'm listening.
It's probably just his height. He probably just smokes.
He just looks like a child, but he's actually 50 years old.
But my thing is for him to say, like, a call and response would be like, all the women with good pussy, put your hands in the air. Woo! All the dudes, if you got $100 in your pocket, put your phone in the air. Woo! Not, if you ain't got no AIDS or HIV, like,
if you have this life-ending progressive disease.
And the thing is, it's like you're perpetuating the stigma behind sexually transmitted diseases and HIV and AIDS, which has a long-standing history of being a gay man's disease.
Yeah.
And and understanding that connection between, the horror, the horrific things that gay men in this country went through with the association of, oh, you gay, you must have HIV and AIDS, right? So it was very ignorant of him to say that as a call and response. And you talking about if you women in here got pussy that smell like water. Have you ever seen a vagina before, sir? If your vagina smells like water, you need to go to a gynecologist because there's something that's off.
Woo,
your vagina smells like vagina. If you don't have one, you shouldn't be telling nobody what it should smell like. And so it was just, again, when you say something stupid, just apologize. Just like Chris Brown tweeted, he was like, go on the stage, sing your song, shut the fuck up, and get off the goddamn stage.
Hey, listen, after all these years, he's fucking learned.
And now his clothing line has been pulled. You've been kicked off of Lollapalooza, whatever that damn thing is called. You're losing endorsements left and right. And then he was like, oh, they still talking about me. I'm on legend status. Sir, I don't think so. Your PR person has told you when you go against the gays, your career is over.
That's true. I thought he would at least learn that one.
You walking around. First of all, you're a grown ass man with kids walking around here in a goddamn diaper, calling yourself the baby. Sir, come on, and I'm not even gay. Okay, I'm an ally to the LGBTQ community.
There's things that if you talk about on a world stage, people will always get upset.
Yeah.
The Holocaust, 9/11, AIDS,
slavery.
Nobody
gives a shit about slavery.
No one gives a shit, but someone's gonna fucking talk about it, and you might get fucking canceled.
Yeah.
But especially when it's about gay people.
Yeah, and again, the stigma behind HIV and AIDS, because some people get HIV and AIDS from not being sexually promiscuous or being gay, and it's just like, and not understand. He's just fucking ignorant.
You're right, because to me, we're 10 years apart.
Yeah.
To me, AIDS is, you got HIV, you're probably fucking around or doing drugs, and now it progressed to AIDS. It's not like Big, or no, what's the movie? Philadelphia.
I was like, Big.
With Tom Hanks.
Just as bad as me about Hard to Kill.
No, that movie Philadelphia with Tom Hanks where he gets AIDS and looks like shit. Or even in Pose, watching that AIDS. But my first thoughts about AIDS are Magic Johnson. What the hell? Magic Johnson's had HIV for 30 years.
Magic Johnson, yes.
Has HIV forever.
Yeah.
I mean, AIDS to me is a needle thing now. HIV AIDS is a needle thing. It's not necessarily a gay thing. Or I think PrEP. Isn't everybody on PrEP? If you're gay, you're on PrEP.
And see, when I was growing up, PrEP was not a thing.
Exactly. So to me, I'm like, who gives a fuck? He said some ignorant shit. We all know that's not real. But you're right. People don't know that. And people were like, there were hate crimes against gay people and hate crimes against people that had AIDS.
Absolutely.
I don't think about that.
And it was when you think about it, I think the HIV and AIDS crisis came out in the early 80s. Mm-hmm. And when you grow up in school during that era, it was like people were just like, oh, anybody that's gay, you can't touch him. Oh, you can't touch him.
It was like COVID.
It was like COVID. It was like, oh my God, it's so contagious. And it's like, if I touch a gay person on their arm, I'm not going to get AIDS. And all gay people don't have HIV and AIDS. So I think it was the ignorance behind his stupid ass comments and the fact that he's like, this is a call and response. Sir.
Just let it go.
You don't get to choose how people respond to what you say. And when you are offending a group of people, you don't get to choose how they are.
It.
Exactly. But I was doing a call and response. And then people were kind of pissed off at T.I. I really don't understand why people were pissed off at T.I. Well, T.I. was, that's what he said.
Is he still selling girls? Or whatever he's doing with Tiny.
I didn't say that.
Allegedly.
I don't know what that man does in his personal home. But I guess he was trying to compare the baby's comments to Lil Nas X and was like, if he wants to be gay and come out and say all this stuff, then what's the difference? And I'm like, T.I., I don't think anybody asked for your opinion, so I think you need to just hush. You still got pending charges against you right now, so let's just hush.
What did Chris Brown say? Go on stage
and just shut the fuck up.
Did you see all those? Did you watch the video for Lil Nas X's new song?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so did I. You worked in a jail. Do you have any comments about it? I thought it was. I was like, this is so fun. Like, if you're a gay man, your idea of jail. I mean, jail's still like scary for criminals and shit.
Yeah.
But your idea of jail must be so different.
Well, see, when I worked in a prison, I wasn't in San Quentin. Okay, even though
Were you not?
No.
In my head, you're in fucking Azkaban.
No,
or something.
definitely not. This was not San Quentin. Okay,
Fucking Alcatraz. Something
No, I would have
cool.
never applied to a job like that. This was a medium to maximum security prison, and it was a male prison. I did work in for a year. However, I was. I won't say I was in a safe space because there's no safe spaces in jail or in prison, but it was not like that. Like, I wasn't on the yard with these people. I don't know what the hell y'all do on the yard. I'm in my office. Okay, I'm in the medical part. I don't come over there. And now sometimes I did have to go on the units because we had like Tower A and B. And A was pretty much like people with mental health issues and pedophiles because, of course, they couldn't put them in regular gym pop in Tower B.
I love
And
prison rule. Like, there's something about prison society that I just fucking love.
Don't glamorize it. It's horrible.
I'm not trying to, and like
It's
I think
absolutely
the whole
horrible.
system needs to be revamped
Yeah.
and all of that shit. But I'm just like, the fact that
It's not like Orange is the New Black.
I know, no matter what you do, if you put a group of people in a space confined
Yeah.
together, like they make their own little society. There's rules.
Yeah.
There's hierarchies.
Absolutely.
There's things you can and can't do. There's things they will and will not put up with. That
Yeah.
shit's so fucking interesting.
I just think at this point what Lil Nas X is doing, I think first of all he's an entertainer. That's
Trying
number
to
one.
piss the cis white people
He
off.
absolutely and the black church folks too. He's trying to piss
He
them
was
off.
like, fuck y'all. Y'all
Yeah.
didn't want me. And I'm going to go out here and
Exactly.
make secular music. And your kids are going to love it.
Absolutely. Because
I
kids
agree.
don't realize what he's saying anyway.
No.
I mean, half the shit we sung as kids, we didn't know what the hell we were saying. And when you're an adult, you're like, that's what I was singing? Oh, Lord.
And half the time he's saying shit that has maybe innuendo to it. It
Yeah.
could mean whatever, like every song does. But he
Right.
puts this crazy ass fucking visual in
Yeah,
front of
he
your
does.
face, and you're like, this is what it has to mean.
Yeah.
Just so I just saw the comments of people being like, all the black men in there are gay and shaking their ass and naked, but the one white man is hooking up with a girl. And Jack Harlow was like, or Lil Nas X was like, me, gay, Jack Harlow, straight. So why the fuck would I put? And then Jack Harlow was like, even if you wanted me naked in the shower, I would have been naked in the shower. It's his
Yeah.
video, and I wanted to be in it.
Yeah. I think there's this whole thing that people are like, oh, there's this gay agenda to turn all the black men gay. And it's like, no, people just like who they like. And I think the generation that we're in now and the time that we're in now, people feel more fluid with who they are, exploring that and sharing it with the rest of the people. Like, I feel like, here's the thing too. Men, your G-spot is in your ass. Do we not know that?
I feel like we've talked about it.
I feel like we talked about it almost every episode. We haven't, not every episode, but
This is now a G-Spot podcast.
right now, I'm not saying that I want a man who likes to be played in his ass. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is that people in this generation now, again, are more fluid with who they are. And they're, and I think because you have all this stuff with Pride, Pride Month, Pride parades and everything like that. And there's such protection now to a degree. I mean, obviously, if you're still black, you ain't got no protection. So fuck that shit. But if you're white and gay, you have way more protections than black and gay, right? Or trans and things like that. So it's being more progressive. People are still getting killed out here because they're trans. Like,
Right.
we understand that. But I think Lil Nas X is really just trying to piss off as many people as he can.
I agree. Like the devil shit, him
I thought it was
twerking on
funny.
I'm just like, he's an entertainer. It's comedy. He is just trying to piss people off and make shit. And
look
that's
at Ozzy Osbourne. This man bit off a bird's head in the middle of a bat.
bat.
Sorry.
Even grosser.
Yeah, it still got wings. It's a bird.
Hey, anything that flies in the sky, bird to me.
And his speech ain't never been right since. I don't know what the hell that bird
Doesn't
had
he
in
have
it, but
fucking like Parkinson's?
I don't know what
or
he got something.
He's got a
bird flu. I don't know. He got
No,
something.
I don't fucking know.
It's horrible.
I
But
do agree. But
yeah.
maybe we can just.
Oh yeah, and even Tory Lanez was saying some stuff, and I'm like, Tory,
Tory Lanez.
you still have an active restraining order on you from Megan Thee Stallion. You shot this girl on the foot allegedly. Shut the fuck up. This ain't even got nothing to do with you. Don't come to his rescue. You got your own shit to deal with, brother. Sweep around your own front door before you try to sweep around the babies. Mm-hmm. It's ridiculous.
I would like to see statistics because obviously homosexuality doesn't differ based on race, right? Like there's not this overwhelming majority of white gay men versus black gay men. I don't think that's how it
I
works.
think it's probably very equal.
Right. So I want to see like statistically in a male population, broken down by race,
Yeah.
how many are gay, but you're never going to have it because people are closeted still. And there's just so much more. I think it's more prevalent in white communities.
What, gay?
Yeah, being gay, because you can be out and white gay men run shit because they're still white men.
Oh well, yeah, and then with the black people in general, that's a whole big umbrella. You have Caribbean, you have African American, you have African, and so it culturally in those particular cultures, homosexuality is very frowned upon because of the church, right? And what it says in the Bible and all of this other kind of stuff, which we know that we know the history of the Bible and who was written by and blah, blah, blah. We're not going to get into all to that. But at the same time, culturally, it is not accepted in, African-American families or Jamaican families or, African families. So a lot of people, I think more black men are closeted. I definitely do agree with you on that.
My thing is like, if
People of color.
if you don't like it, sorry. If you don't like him or what he's putting out or his message, don't watch it. If you don't want your kids around it, don't let them watch it. Or, hey, here's something. I would like to think that I would be more proud of my child if I raised them with a certain set of rules, values, morals, and then even if they were presented with that information, they responded appropriately.
Yeah.
And we're like, this isn't something I should be consuming. Or this is interesting. I want to bring it up. Or some shit. Rather than me being like, this is goddamn awful and we need to rip it from the television.
But you got to remember, too, the boomers are out here and the boomers are the parents and the grandparents of Gen Z. And so that's part of the problem why people don't feel comfortable coming out, because the boomers, the silent generation who's still alive, they're the ones who are just like, see, I told you not to be gay. All these gay people got all this AIDS and HIV. See what I'm saying? The Lord that told you not to be gay. You're going to hell. And it's like, okay, so God made me, right? And he didn't make any mistakes. And if I'm gay, you're saying that God made a mistake. No, you're just choosing to live in sin. Okay, that doesn't make any sense. Okay. If God knew that I was going to be this way, clearly he made me this way. Right? Just saying.
If all these boomers, all these older people became like diehard DaBaby fans now?
I doubt it. They don't even understand. They can't understand what he's saying.
This little guy's he's kind of saying something.
No. Because he gonna turn on them too. Fuck y'all old ass people.
He's only for him. He just wants to make his money and he wants to do what the fuck he wants.
Well, that's all right. And he's gonna learn the hard way through this situation. He's been taken off of 2 different things. Even the one girl who made the song Levitate.
Dua Lipa.
Yeah,
she loves the
She
gays.
was like, "Oh no, honey." She was like, "Whoa! That he does not reflect me, and I always stand with the Alphabet Mafia, and we not doing that over here."
She said, "I know who picks my wardrobe, does my hair, my makeup, and buys my records."
And she literally said, "Listen to that version without him. Listen to the original version." But yeah, that's freaking crazy. All right. Off that note, let me ask you this question. This is kind of weird or a random question. Since you are 58% white, in your family, do you all take a bath every day?
I don't take baths.
Or a shower? Do you wash your ass every day?
We shower every single day, sometimes twice a day. My brother is a hard sell, but he's also a teenage boy.
Very true.
Who thinks like, oh, I didn't leave the house. I don't give a shit.
So we can't put him in part of the census.
Yeah, no, we shower every day.
Yeah. So in the news recently, there was this situation that happened where a lot of these people on TikTok there was this one little girl. She comes on the little screen and she's like, so we all shit in the shower, right? And so there's this train of black creators that are like duetting her and stitching it like, no, the fuck we don't. No, the fuck we don't. No, the fuck we don't.
Yeah.
And it sparked this conversation where even Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher they did this interview and they were basically saying, well, yeah, no, we don't take baths every day. Like we have bath day. Like we don't, if we if we actively see the dirt, then we'll clean. But if not,
yes,
we
dude.
won't do
So
it.
I saw the other girl on TikTok who was like bath day. Like, oh, she was the black girl or mixed. I don't know, but she was adopted into this white family and she has a bunch of black siblings. And she was like, no, we Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, those were bath days. We never took baths if it wasn't a bath day. My parents are whatever years old, they still have bath day. I've literally never heard of that.
I've never heard of that. Is disgusting.
I think that there were times in the summer where I think our parent, like me and my cousins, our parents were just like so fucking tired that they're like, you went swimming, you're fine. But that was
because
like,
you're in a body of water.
Because we were in a body of water and it was like, we're too tired to stay up and do showers right now. Just go the fuck to bed and we'll do it later. But it was never like, you don't have to take a bath. It was like, it's bath night or it's bath time every night. It's bath time. I
was going to say, I'm going to whoop your ass in the tub. Get your stank ass in this goddamn tub.
I will say that I am team shower before bed.
Really?
Like I have to take a shower before bed. I cannot get into a bed unless I'm blackout. I have to take, and even then I wash my face. I like cannot.
So it depends because for me, I shower either at night or in the morning. It depends on what I've done through the day. So like at work, if I've had any kind of contact patient, I'm coming home and I'm taking a shower immediately. Of course, when we were in COVID, when I was in the COVID unit, as soon as I get home, everything strips off in the garage. I'm taking a shower. Absolutely. But pre-COVID, it just depended on the day. Like I would take either, like if I'm sweating, if I come home sweaty, I'm taking a shower. And sometimes I would take a shower twice a day, especially when it's that time of the month. I'm taking like 3 or 4 showers in that same day. But like my mom used to do this thing where when I was a kid, I used to take a shower at night and in the morning because she was just like, you sweat at night in your sleep. So you can't just take a bath at night. And I'm like, oh yeah, you're right. So all the way up until like college, I would take a bath at night and in the morning.
It's a lot of bathing.
That's a lot of, but I don't.
A lot of water.
I don't. Oh, let me ask you this question: do you use a loofah, the soap, or do you use a washcloth?
A loofah, the soap, or the washcloth?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Do you use, when you shower, do you use a washcloth, a loofah, or just the soap in your hand to wash your body?
Just the soap in my hand to wash my body?
That's what a lot of white people do, honestly.
Are you on drugs?
I don't know. I'm asking you.
You were smoking crack cocaine.
I'm asking you.
What does that do?
I don't know, but that's what people do. That's what non-color of people do. They use the soap and they just put it. I don't know how the fuck they do it. I use a washcloth.
We use washcloths in general, but I use a loofah. Where I'm a loofah person. Like I want to scrub the shit out of my skin.
I asked this question with one of the last job that I had, the coworkers that were there that were non-black. I asked them, hey, do you use washcloth? Washcloth? Why would you use a washcloth? And I'm like, what the fuck? Why do you take a bath? And they were like, no, you just take the soap because the soap can't get dirty. It's soap. And I was like, I'm never coming to your fucking house again. That's fucking disgusting. I don't even use the same washcloth twice.
Y'all.
I have a washcloth issue though, because I grew up with multiple siblings, but I don't use the same washcloth twice.
No, a washcloth is a one and done. A loofah you can use multiple times.
No, I don't even do that. No,
a washcloth.
I don't use loofahs anyway. But when I travel, people will tell you when I travel, however many days I'm gonna be there, I take 2 washcloths per day, and I don't have like a washcloth for my face and one for my ass.
You're also psycho because you bring your own towels, and I still don't understand that.
And my own
your
sheets. Yes, I do.
You're such a weirdo.
Yes, I do. I'm very OCD. I can't.
Just stay at nice places.
No, you still can't dress them. Black lights or blue lights, whatever you want to call them. Things. Nope.
The lights.
Yeah.
If I'm at a hotel or I'm out of town, I'll use a washcloth. If I'm at my house, I'll just use a loofah.
Yeah, I can't use hotel washcloths. I can't do it. And plus 2. I don't know whose body's been on that. I can't do it. No.
You're weird.
But I use a washcloth. It's a one and done. You cannot.
No,
I don't see how people like put the washcloth on the little towel rack and just like
those like hard when you go to use it again.
Then you got pubes all in your shit. That's disgusting. Ew. Let us know in the comments if y'all use the same washcloth.
So when we travel, if I'm with my family, my brother and I are using the same shower, so I'm not using anything that's fucking in there again.
Yeah, no, it's
disgusting.
gross. I don't understand how people do. But yeah, some people use the soap and they just go on their bodies with the soap, and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all?
That's like, do you remember that thing going around a while ago where Taylor Swift didn't know she had to wash her legs? She was just like, I just let the soap run down. And Black Twitter was like, bitch.
That's what I'm saying.
You've got to scrub who doesn't wash their legs?
And who doesn't wash their feet either?
Yo. Like, your whole body is, as soon as I get home from work, I jump in the shower.
That's disgusting to not wash your legs. Oh, God, I hate people.
And the only time is like when you're doing a fast hoe bath, like before you got to go somewhere, just like pries and tries, you know?
Hot spots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But even like when we were growing up, my mom's favorite thing when we were being bitchy or annoying or in a bad mood because we're hungry or like crying and couldn't stop or couldn't breathe, she'd be like, go take a shower. It's time to take a shower. You need to take a shower.
I think every parent does that now because they're just like, let's put a whole bunch of like lavender in your bath and knock you the fuck out.
She'd be like, I can't deal with you for 5 minutes and you need to calm down. Go take a shower.
Honestly, I think if they made melatonin like body wash,
God.
They would be them kids would be drowning in the bathtub.
I'm telling you, still to this day, I'll be upset about something and she's like, I'm gonna go take a shower.
Yeah,
just go take a shower. So we were bathing a lot.
That's like even like a lot of van lifers that I follow on YouTube, and they're just like, oh yeah, we don't have a shower in our van, and I'm like,
no,
you don't shower every day. What the hell is wrong with you?
Dude, the one time I didn't shower for multiple days in a row was in high school when we had to go live like we were in a global village. I was the slums of India. That was the village that I got put into.
Wow. And
I literally I was the dirt. There was like a rock slum, a dirt slum, and something else. I was the rock slum. Dirt slum? Doesn't fucking matter. I slept on the floor for 3 days. We had no showers. We had an outhouse we had to use, so I had to cover my own.
Wait, I'm sorry. Your mother your mother signed a permission slip for you to do this?
My mother paid for me to do
Paid
this.
for you to go sleep on the floor.
Have I ever told you this story? Yo,
No.
the high school that I went to, they wanted you to be a global citizen. So every year you took a trip.
Wow.
Your freshman year, you take this trip. It was to this farm in Arkansas called Heifer that I don't even think is doing this anymore because
Yeah, it's
it's
probably
child
illegal.
abuse. But they had
fuck?
2 global villages.
Yeah.
And they all had different simulated countries. So, like,
Mm-hmm.
I was India, so it was the slums. They had Thailand, and they'd have, like, a house from Thailand. They had Zambia, so it was, like, this, like, rock stone structure you would sleep in. They had all this different Appalachia, all this crazy shit. So,
Wow.
you, depending on where they picked you, like, what group you picked, you had to live like you were in that country for 3 days. I had to milk a goat and make cheese out of it. People had to farm. All of this crazy
I
shit.
actually think that's a good idea.
It was awful. And so even like random people, they were like, oh, you're pregnant today.
What the fuck?
Or like, you're blind. So you had to figure out how to feed yourself. They would give you like dry rice and an eggplant to feed like 16 people.
But I think you should do that when you're in college, not in high school.
I was a freshman. I was like
Because
14
you don't
years
even know,
old.
sometimes you don't even know how to cook in high
I
school.
didn't. So
Yeah.
thank God some of the chaperones were there. But it's like Lord of the Flies. People started going crazy.
love
It
to
was
do that. Well,
fucking
not now.
awful. Our house, because we were India, didn't even have one close. You had to walk like probably 50, 60 feet. No, that's too close.
Like a mile.
I want to say it
Half
was
a
like
mile?
a 5-minute walk in
Yeah.
the wilderness to get to an outhouse in which I had to cover my own piss with sawdust. I didn't shit because I
That's
was too
survival
afraid.
skills, though. I would do
Dude,
that.
and it was freezing because it was Arkansas. It was awful.
Let's
but
go again. Let's do it. That's
Never.
that's getting you ready for the apocalypse.
Never. You go to this little like you work all day and farm all day to make your little bit of money.
Yeah.
And you go to this market and they have just like vegetables out and like cans of Coke and shit, and you have to buy and barter, but they don't speak English.
Who the hell was your principal? What the hell? I
It
went to a
was
black
awful.
school. All we did was, I don't even think we took no trips. If you were in the band, you went on a trip to the next
No,
school.
dude, it
That's
was so. I still talk about it to this day because it was fucking traumatizing.
That's hilarious.
There would be like, there was a group also of refugees, and these
Yeah.
were like 5 people who didn't have a home, didn't have food, they weren't given anything, and it was up to them to go around and see if anyone would take them in, help them in, all this shit.
That's Survivor.
So we would make our little bit of rice into a stew with some vegetables and shit, and we'd all be so hungry. We got like a fucking smidgen of food. And the refugees would come and they'd be like, can we have any food? And all of us would be like, no.
No, bitch.
You can't. We're all starving. We're so hungry.
Yeah.
And I remember one of the girls in our group went and gave them our extra food, and
Yeah.
I literally have not talked to her since.
Oh my God.
I was like, I'll never forgive
what
you.
grade were you in when you went
Ninth.
this? Okay. See, no, a ninth grader can't do that. Yeah, that needs
No.
to be like college.
We heard that one of the kids in the class had donuts because you're not supposed to sneak in any food because you're in the wilderness and the animals will come. We heard that one of them had donuts. A horde of children ran
I was gonna say, that
to
would be
this
my fat
guy's
ass
bunk, started tearing apart his shit. Didn't even have donuts.
That would be my fat ass that came in there with goddamn Krispy Kreme. Like, you remember the movie
Heavyweights.
Heavyweights? They
Yes,
raided their
bitch.
snack. But
Yes, bitch. So
Oh
then
my
after you
gosh.
live like that for 3 nights, you get to shower, right?
Yeah.
But there's 100 kids and like 3 showers.
Oh my
So they tell you like
God.
in and out, in and out, in and out.
Like
and
you're in prison.
Like you're in prison, and it's disgusting because everyone's been sleeping in the dirt for 3 days.
Oh my God.
And after that, I was like, I will never feel this way again.
No, the only time I ever did not take a shower was when, and I forgave my dad after this. So again, remember how we take the trip to Georgia every single year
Yeah.
because my dad like is from Georgia, right? So this one particular year, I was an adult and my sister and I, we were in Tallahassee, both at FAMU. I think she had already graduated at this point. Anyway, long story short, we went to Georgia for a family reunion or some shit. Nobody basically showed up. Anyway,
What?
yeah, it was crazy. My dad's side of the family is insane. Anyway, so that same weekend that we were supposed to go, there was apparently some kind of like police convention. So there were no hotels that were available. Mind you, we're in fucking Tifton, Georgia.
Never heard of it.
Exactly. And where he's from is from Eastman, Georgia, but you can get there by like Macon is like the next big city.
I
You
do
can
know
go to the-
Macon.
yeah. So you can go to like the mall. That's where the mall is in Macon, right? So we're looking everywhere for hotels. We can't find one. So finally we find, and so we had to stay at my uncle's house, which was my grandparents' house. Horrible. Horrible. It was because they live in a trailer in Georgia. Oh God. Anyway.
Oh, a Georgian trailer.
Yes,
I like this.
But they own the land. Thank you, Jesus. They own the land. Hallelujah. But we go to this. My dad was like, I found a hotel. We drive up to this damn hotel, Alyssa. homeless people are like sitting outside the hotel, and I'm like, this is not going to be a great idea. We walk in the hotel, the amount of roaches that scattered, and we were just like, I told and it was me, my oldest sister, my mom, and my dad, and I was like, I am not going in this bath. I'm not going in this hotel. I will sleep in the goddamn car. And so of course I was like, bitch, I can't be up here by myself. So I go inside. I'm literally fully clothed. I got a sweatsuit on with a hoodie. I sleep on. I was like, we got to go to Walmart. We go to Walmart. We get our own like
especially
bed sheets.
you, because you're so fucking OCD.
Girl, I was
about
I was about to die. I was like, Lord, I need to get back. And because I left my car in Tallahassee, so I was like, damn it, we all drove together, so I couldn't just pack up my shit and just leave in the middle of the night. So long story short, we go to Walmart, we get stuff. My dad goes and takes a shower like nothing's wrong. Okay? Like nothing's wrong. So then I'm like, oh, okay, I'll go next because maybe the bathroom is not that bad. Alyssa, I walk in this fucking bathroom. It rust everywhere, roaches, flies, ants. It just looked like a fucking outhouse. And I was like, how the hell did you take a shower in here? He's like, ain't nothing wrong with them shelves. Ain't nothing wrong with them shelves. I'm like, you're a damn liar. I was like, I'm not taking a shower. I held my pee. I held my poop. I held everything. I was like, get me back on the road so we can drive these 4 hours back to fucking Tallahassee and I can get back to my apartment and wash my ass. I literally did not take a shower. My mom went in there. She was like, I just tried to get the hot spots. Me and my sister both was like, we're not taking a shower here. We did not wash our asses. And we literally, I was like, nope, I'm wearing the same clothes. I'm not touching shit. It was horrible. It was horrible. So for those people who have access to a shower, because we know people who are homeless who do not have access to a shower. But for those people who do have access to a shower, wash your ass every day. That's no excuse.
Dude, I was taught. Like, even I remember my aunt babysitting me growing up. Like, every time I remember being very, very young, taking a bath, and even being like, you know, like, what do I wash first? And she's like, well, you don't want to touch your face after you touch your booty, so you need to wash everything before. Like, those kinds of conversations. You take a fucking shower every day.
I think people are saying that it's just a white thing. I honestly agree.
And I think that they are, but it's just not my white experience. Because I had a white experience. I grew up with white people who treated me whitely, and we do white things.
They treated you whitely?
Yeah, we have, like, we do water sports on the lake white. We're white. You know, no salt. My mom doesn't salt or pepper our food ever white.
Yeah, no seasoning.
But we did take showers, and I do wash my entire body.
Yeah, that's just, I can't believe, Ashley Kutcher will never shake your hand, ever.
But she's not even white. She's Russian.
Is she?
Yeah, she's from Russia.
Mila Kunis, yeah. I don't know. I just thought she just tried to be like exotic or something. I don't know, whatever. I thought she was, but she's white. But I guess
Europeans,
whatever.
I don't feel like Europeans bathe as much as we do.
No, they don't. Because they don't even wear deodorant. Yeah. Because when we went to Paris 2 years ago,
stank.
Smelled like straight onions the whole time. And I was like, y'all don't smell that?
He, I believe, is from the U.S. The U.S., like, maybe, I don't know. I can fact check.
Well, that's probably why they got a lower, prevalence of cancer, because we be just shoving goddamn aluminum up underneath our arms for deodorant and whatnot. But
we're just like clogging our pores and giving ourselves cancer.
Absolutely.
But we smell great.
Yes, definitely. So wash your ass, people. No bath. That's
probably why Europeans think we're so like uppity and spoiled. We're like, we need air conditioning and we need to shower every day.
Yes, we do. Absolutely.
Basic human rights.
Absolutely.
AC should be a basic human right.
And washcloths. Absolutely. Use washcloths. No loofahs. Loofahs carry bacteria.
Really made me LOL on that one.
Oh my God. I still can't believe we did it. The stuff that my dad made us do. Oh my God. I hated it. I'm a city girl. Mm-hmm. I'm literally a city girl through and through. That's why you don't marry, you can marry country men, but oh my God, it was horrible.
Like a clean shower is I just need a place to pee and a shower.
Yeah.
Maybe a bed would be nice.
Right, definitely. So also too in the news, some great things. Target, did you hear that Target is actually, they're going to start having little mini Ultas in their Target stores.
But isn't Target already basically an Ulta? Do you see what I'm saying? Are you here with me on that?
Yeah, they just don't have all the brands. But
but basically like what I can get at Target, I can get at Ulta.
Yeah, they're both expensive. Either way.
Is it like how they put a Sephora in a JCPenney?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And now I'm fucked over because I can't use my gift cards there. There's like a weird thing.
Oh, because JCPenney closed, right?
There's like, if you buy a JCPenney Sephora gift card, you can't use it at regular Sephora.
Oh.
You have to use it
They're monopolizing on it. I get it. So, all right. So what's going on in the social media news?
There is now probably the best marketing management I've seen in a while.
Ooh, what is it?
Which is the Sweetie Meal at McDonald's.
Sweetie has a meal at McDonald's.
Sweetie, which I feel
That
like
girl eats so horrible. I mean, I'm obese. So
do you remember
obviously
her?
I
Was
eat
it
horrible
her
too,
that
but
did the salad?
the salad?
The fucking iceberg lettuce salad with the meat. No, that wasn't her. That she was cutting it
No,
up with
I've
her
never
hands.
seen Sweetie
She
eat a
did
salad.
she did the hot Cheeto thing. She does
Yes,
all the hot
she does
Cheeto
the hot
shit.
Cheetos,
so that
yes.
probably would have been a better.
She eats like she's from South Florida, honestly. Like
Where
how
is
I
she?
used
She's
to.
from the Bay though, right?
Yeah, because she's Gabrielle Union's cousin.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
And I'm always like, what? Let me tell you what's in the meal. Okay, are you ready?
Yes.
Did you like McDonald's when you ate not lettuce?
When I ate not lettuce. That wouldn't have been my first choice. When I was in college and broke, yes, I always stayed on the dollar menu. Double cheeseburger, a small fry, and a Coke.
Dude, do you remember dollar cheeseburgers?
Yes.
Damn, that was good.
But they had double cheeseburgers though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Or
this-
McChicken. Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
Oh yeah. Did y'all have the spicy chicken sandwich in Florida?
We did, but I never got it because I don't really like chicken sandwiches like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I used to get the double cheeseburger.
Anyway, last thing. I remember when I was in high school, they came out with the chicken sandwich that was like more like a Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich. That shit
Like the
used to
grilled
be-
chicken?
No. Whoa. Did you hear me wheeze?
I did.
Okay. It was just more like a buttermilk
over there.
a buttermilk chicken sandwich.
No, ain't no goddamn butter or milk on that goddamn thing.
I know. The
Lard.
Sweetie meal is a Big Mac, medium fries, 4-piece chicken nugget, and a medium Sprite. So
So all it is just a Big Mac meal with extra nuggets.
Yeah, and barbecue sauce. Or Sweetie and sour sauce.
So it's just a Big Mac meal with nuggets on the side.
That's what some would say.
Yeah.
I would say it's a Sweetie meal.
Are they gonna put it like package it in a certain kind of way? I hope
Icy. They're doing icy packaging.
Because then what's his
I'm
name?
icy.
Was it Travis Scott?
Travis Scott had a meal. Did he have it there?
No, was it at Sonic? No,
No, I want to say
Dairy Queen.
No,
I
it
can't
was
remember.
probably McDonald's because everyone was going Travis Scott meal McDonald's. It was a McDonald's.
Yeah. Okay. What is?
So
what
are they
his?
just honestly? That's pretty good marketing to team up
That
with
really
fucking
is, yeah.
like rappers and shit.
Yeah.
His was like the Cactus Jack meal.
Yeah. People said it was nasty.
It was
Not. I didn't say it. People said it.
a quarter pounder with lettuce, pickles, onions, ketchup, mustard, cheese, and bacon. That's specific. Medium fries with a side of barbecue and a Sprite.
Sounds like the same thing.
What would your McDonald's bill be? I think I know what mine would be.
If I were still eating, mine would be a goddamn McRib. A McRib. You don't eat a McRib? What's wrong
I'm
with the
quitting the
McRib?
podcast. This is it.
What's
Pack
wrong
it
with
up.
the McRib? The McRib is good.
You're fucking disgusting.
If it was real rib, it would be
You
good.
are literal trash, McRib. Oh my god.
So you don't eat
What
the
is
McDonald's
wrong?
McRib?
No, absolutely
not?
not. That is
It's
my
good.
God.
It's just cardboard drowned in barbecue sauce, but it's good.
There is a caliber of fake meat I will ingest, and that is way past it. A McRib.
That's where you draw the line.
That's where I draw. I'll eat the like chicken paste nuggets. I will not eat.
No, I'm kidding.
McRib.
Mine would not be a McRib. It would actually be a quarter pounder with bacon, cheese, onions, not lettuce, cheese, onions,
So
pickles,
a Travis Scott meal.
pretty much. But his has lettuce on it because he has a Big Mac, right, with bacon. Isn't that what you said?
A quarter pounder with lettuce, pickles, onions, ketchup, mustard, cheese, bacon.
Oh yeah, that's actually good. Yeah, but I would put like Polynesian sauce on there.
Ooh, a little crossover there.
Yeah, crossover between Chick-fil-A. What would yours be?
I would do.
But put fries in the quarter pounder.
Oh, like on the sandwich.
Yeah, the fries have to be inside the sandwich.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay, I would do a spicy chicken sandwich, a double cheeseburger, no onions, fries, 2 oatmeal raisin, and 1 sugar cookie.
What the fuck? Are you in an LTAC? You're in a nursing home with
They're
fucking
so
oatmeal
good.
raisin cookies?
Have you had the McDonald's oatmeal raisin cookies?
I hate everything oatmeal raisin because they look like fucking chocolate chips at certain times and trick people. The fuck?
Dude,
are you 95
There's
years old?
something about the
Ew.
cookies at McDonald's.
The
so
chocolate
good.
chip cookies are the best.
No, but have you had the others?
No,
Okay,
I don't want to eat no
you don't
nasty
know.
ass raisin. I
I
don't want to poop after I eat cookies.
You know I'm not regular. I have to do everything I can. Dude,
Goddamn
those cookies are so. I'm gonna go home and get
skilled
some right
nursing
now.
facility cookies. What the fuck?
I wish I worked at a sniff.
No. No, you don't.
Actually, cut
No, you
that part
don't.
out.
No, you don't. What
That
else
would
is
be
going
my
on?
meal. I heard from my close personal friend Scarlett Johansson that she's fucking pissed at Disney.
Oh yeah, I heard she's like suing them or something.
She's
right?
suing them because that new, what is the movie, Black Widow, that came out?
Yeah.
They were supposed to release it on separate days so she can make her monies. Her monties.
Yeah.
She said, I'm Scarlett Johansson. I run the MCU.
Right.
You guys should fucking respect it.
Yeah.
Even though she was a whore in that one movie and I couldn't stand her for a long time. He's just not that into you.
Oh,
Couldn't
yes,
stand
yes,
her.
yes.
And they released it on the same day. So she lost out on a shit ton of money.
She did. That was, but they said that that Disney breached the contract, which I'm like, Disney, I think y'all should be, there's probably something in the fine print that says, nah, bitch, we got you.
I would assume that Disney thinks they can do whatever the fuck they want because they
they're Disney.
own literally everything. And they,
Yeah.
in my head, it was a very quick way of consequences where it was like the money we'll have to pay her out versus the money we'll make if we just release it.
Yeah.
Let's just fucking do it.
Yeah. But you know what I think too? I think for her, it's like a lot of these Marvel movies, they're doing them on separate people now. And so, they're trying to keep up with box office numbers and all
you
that
gotta
stuff.
get your money while you
Yeah.
can.
And the thing is too, I mean, when you do that, because I think it was something like, she was promised, like, I think the movie only made $30 million. And then on the Disney Plus, I think they made an additional like 20 or 30 million. So she could have still gotten some more on the back end. And then her numbers look horrible, even though it's probably a very great movie. I haven't seen it yet because I don't have Disney Plus, and I refuse to get it. But
Here's the thing. Most of the time when they do that, they release it on Disney Plus and you still have to freaking pay for it.
oh, do you?
So I'm like they did that with Mulan. They did it with Cruella. They did
Yeah.
it with, so I'm like, why am I paying? Because I guess it's
paying twice.
Yeah, you don't.
Yeah.
So you don't have to go to the theater. But I'm like, I'm not gonna pay more on Disney Plus. I'm just gonna wait till it comes out for free
Yeah. I'll just wait till it comes on Netflix.
in like years.
Right. 5 years. You still haven't seen Black Widow. That's crazy.
But
Yeah.
it is weird to think now, like all these movies that are being released on streaming platforms, like no one's going to the movies anymore.
Well, because you've locked us away. I actually, again, the lockdown is a perfect world for introverts.
Oh, dude, when we were in heavy lockdown and the movie theaters opened back up, we would go all the time because we were the only people in there.
Yeah.
You can see who has tickets before. They also had COVID precautions there, so like everyone's so separated, but no one was there. It was awesome.
Well, see, I always go to the matinee anyway. The matinees
True.
are my favorite.
I used to do that in
'cause-
grad school all the time. I go to like a 2 p.m. movie by
Sorry.
myself.
Yeah, 12 o'clock Tuesday.
Give me a
open?
leather
Hell yeah.
recliner, baby, and some popcorn.
Get all the fresh popcorn. Hell yeah.
Yep.
Get to be in there by myself. What are you watching? Speaking of movies,
Dude, I haven't watched anything. I finally finished The Witcher.
how did you like it?
It was good if you stay awake.
You
for The
have to
Witcher.
stay awake, 'cause
If you like
it's
actually
slow in the beginning.
It is slow, and I was tired, I guess. But if you make it through, first of all, I still can't believe that's Henry Cavill.
He's gorgeous, isn't
Yeah.
he? With that white hair. Oh,
Yeah,
love
and then
it.
when that girl, the mage, all that kind of stuff.
Yennefer.
Yennefer. Any other name, dude?
I know.
Yennefer.
When she made her, well, I won't give
When
it away.
the shit happens to her that happens to her, I
Yes.
was like, I fucking knew it. And
Well,
you
the
left-
thing is, you know what? It's been a year since this damn movie came out. She transforms. She's
Boom.
gorgeous.
she is. I was like, you
Gorgeous.
knew this was going to happen to you, and that's why you left that light skinned boy. I knew
Yeah,
it.
definitely. Yennefer is a badass. And when they going back and forth between the realms and all that, I'm just like, this is amazing.
Yeah,
So,
it was good. I'm glad I stuck with it.
They got approved for a second season.
I
so
can't
I'm
wait.
ready.
I feel like the fall is when like the good shit comes. So
Yeah.
I'm so ready for fall.
Yeah, definitely.
90. There's like 90 days till Halloween.
Ooh,
that
that's
crazy?
cool. That's cool. Cool beans. Well, I watched because
Something apocalyptic.
yes, I've been home for the past 5 days. So it's been
All
amazing.
I would do is watch shit. I'm jealous.
Yes, I kept going to sleep, so I had to keep rewatching it. But anyway, I saw this movie called "The Last Days of American Crime," and it's on Netflix. And it's basically it's a really good, like apocalyptic, but not really. It's a good survival movie. But anyway, the premise of it is that the government, only in the United States, has now implemented this thing where they put this chip in you. In the back of your neck, and
Always the back of the neck.
I know, right? And then they turn it on, and what it does is it sends a signal to your body, and it shuts down the crime center of your body. So that way there will be no crime. So the police, there's this countdown that's like, a week before they turn on this thing. The police officers, all police officers, the military will no longer exist
I
because
was just gonna say, why do we need them?
exactly. So they're turning in their guns and all this other kind of stuff. Where this one guy, he's like this notorious bank robber or whatever. His brother goes to prison. His brother gets killed in prison, and so he's basically trying to do like a last fu to the United States, right?
One last
so
hurrah.
yeah. So people are trying to escape to Canada, but they're being shot on sight. It's almost like people who are trying to escape North Korea, and get shot on sight. That's pretty much what's the same thing happening. And so he gets teamed up with this guy who has resources, but he's like a loudmouth little like immature kid who his dad has all this money and whatnot, and it's basically just going through the wilds of it all. And then there's this one girl Of course, they always fucking in the damn thing when we're about to end. Anyway, and she is a Harvard and MIT grad, and she knows how to hack the government, and she hacked the FBI before, but she's trying to get over to the border of Canada. And so they basically plan out this robbery to rob the Federal Reserve of $1 billion in cash. Because once the thing turns on in America, cash is no longer going to be a thing. And so they're rationing people. So of course people are, it's kind of like the vaccine where people are getting the vaccine, people are not wanting to get it, blah, 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 and all this kind of stuff. So it was a really good movie. So it's called The Last Days of American Crime. It was actually really good. You guys should watch that. It's a 2-hour movie, but it's really good. It's action
2 hours.
It's action packed though. It's really good. There's a
What
lot of
is
twists
it?
and
What do you
turns.
think it's like to be that smart? Like to go to MIT and go to Harvard?
I think for me, since I watched Snowden,
Oh yeah, how did you like Snowden?
it was really good. Like I was like, damn,
Doesn't
I want to
it
be a
fuck your
coder.
mind?
Yeah. But I mean, I knew all that stuff. Even like with the camera, and I didn't realize it was a time frame. But because I watched it, he is still alive and still in Russia.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And his girlfriend moved over there.
They keep trying to get him back. He's not coming back.
Yeah, no, he can't come back. They're gonna. I mean, and
On
Russia's
site.
not giving him up.
No.
No, they're probably he's probably the one who
He's
hacked
probably the one. I was
elections.
just thinking.
Allegedly. But yeah, I knew the government was watching us. They're listening to everything we do. Mm-hmm. So
Dude, speaking of COVID vaccine, wanting it and not wanting it, did you see that interview? It was like ABC News Dayline situation, but it was they're interviewing 4 healthcare workers about the vaccine because
No.
it's like only there's I think they said 3 in okay. 1 in 4 healthcare workers has the vaccine. And so
that speaks volumes.
these women were just saying like, of course we're not getting the vaccine, da 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 da. And the only thing is, these were and of course I only saw clips, right? And I'm sure these are very like smart, educated women. They work in healthcare.
Yeah.
I feel like when you're so deep in a situation, your explanations for things aren't like well thought out or planned because you're just so in it that you're like, why would I? Of course I wouldn't. It's not even research. Da, 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 da.
Yeah.
And I just feel like they picked like these women who were just very.
Like Sweet Brown. I ain't got time for that.
But I was just like, it's not that they sounded ignorant or uneducated, but it just sounded like they were the interview would be like, but why? And they're like, but why would we?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I need someone to be like, well, da 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 da. But basically, everyone in the hospital is still like, fuck this vaccine.
Yeah, I think people are surprised because even like Joe Biden, I heard one of the
Mr. Rules are Rules.
Yeah, so there was a reporter that said to Joe Biden, like, oh, are you going to mandate federal employees? Because, a lot of companies are coming out saying that, oh, like Walmart and who was the other one? Walmart and Disney, I think it is. Is it Walmart and Disney? They're mandating that all their employees have the vaccine. And so she asked him, oh, well, Joe, President Biden, are you going to mandate that federal employees have the vaccine? And he's like, I'll tell you what. He gets so aggressive. That man is so fucking aggressive. He's like, I'll tell you what. If you don't get the vaccine, you're not as smart as I thought you were. What the fuck does your smarts have to do with the fact that you choose to get a vaccine or
He doesn't
not?
want to give an answer because he's
He
the
doesn't.
president of the
He was
United
like,
States.
over 100 million people have not gotten the vaccine. I'm like, that's a shit ton of people, Joe.
That's the country.
That's the whole fucking country. Like, there's a valid reason why. And then I was reading this article over the weekend that they are now, so the FDA has now said that the rapid test, the nasal rapid test is actually they're suggesting that people stop using it because it's not accurate, and also it's
No.
causing a lot of issues with people's noses and infections and bacteria.
well,
and
it's
blah,
in
blah,
your
blah.
fucking brain.
Exactly. So they're basically telling people, and apparently this article came out in, I want to say June of this year. So they're basically telling people the FDA is no longer approving the the Anova.
Well, don't you remember they were
nose
like,
test.
unless you have symptoms, this test will not give you a positive if you're positive.
Yeah, because even companies are saying, well, if you don't get the vaccine, then you got to get tested twice a week, and I'm like, that's going to be stupid because if you can't get a rapid test that quickly, or if it's not valid that it's working and they are no longer going to offer it, then what are you going to do? So and then two, vaccinated people and unvaccinated people need to wear their masks. Like, I don't even understand why the CDC even said, oh, well, if you're vaccinated, then you don't have to wear your mask. Why the fuck would y'all tell people that? Like, why would you tell people that?
I would assume that they
Stop lifting up your shirt on
sorry.
camera.
Oh, you're gonna have to block it. I just can't. My eyes are watering.
Jesus.
Slut. I would assume that they're like, it's kind of like working with a kid. If you tell them to do something, they won't do it. But if you're like, if you do this now, when
Yeah.
I'm done, we'll go to Whataburger. They're like, okay, we'll do it.
But you know what I think I think the United States missed out on their opportunity to really get this vaccine out. If Trump would have never said anything about the vaccine and would have let the medical professionals push it out and say, hey, because patients are like, is there a cure for this? Yes, it's actually a cure. If he would have allowed either the CDC or the FDA to just come out and say, hey, we have a vaccine, it's ready, and Trump would have never said anything about it, I honestly think that a lot of people would have ended up getting it because he wouldn't have attached himself to it. But the fact that when the government starts saying everybody needs to get this, we're like, since when have you been in the business of saving people's lives?
Do you think it was him specifically, or anytime the government attached, just the government?
I don't think it was him personally, because even if Biden or Obama or whoever, if the representative from the government said that, nobody's going to want to get it because we're not going to trust you. Versus if you would have allowed healthcare professionals to then come out and say, hey, we have a board of scientists, let them run everything, let them answer all the questions, because then you start coming out with all this information like, well, the vaccine is curing everything. And it's like, oh my God. And then even with that one incident where the lady said what she said, she didn't say anything. Trump was saying the UV light and the disinfectant, and she was like, oh my God. Like, she knew the detriment of what he said, being ignorant about science, the detriment that it was going to cause. Yeah. So I think if government officials, again, shut the fuck up about the vaccine and let the medical professionals take over, then they may get somewhere. But the minute you start saying, all right, we're going to put your name in a raffle for a raffle if you get the vaccine. We're going to give you $100.
We'll give you free French fries if you show us your vaccine card.
You can't afford Steak and Shake fries.
My thing is, you're in politics, you're a politician because that's your lane.
Yeah.
You are not, I don't know if you should speak on medical issues.
You should
not.
Even
if you do, you should have a very specific script.
Yeah.
These are the things I've talked about with my science team. This is what I'm cleared to tell you, because you don't know anything about it. You
pass the mic.
You shouldn't have to. You didn't go to school for years to do this.
You're right. Because even when I remember COVID first came out, and then our CEO started doing town halls, right? This is before we started social distancing, and it was still in Wuhan. He came.
Who's ever been to Wuhan? Quote us.
I mean, they're actually on the application. Have you been to Wuhan? I don't even know what the fuck Wuhan is. I never knew it until y'all said it.
Being like, oh, who even goes to Wuhan? It's not gonna come over here.
I know Shanghai from Rush Hour 2. I mean, I don't know. But anyway, people were asking him questions about COVID, and he had the chief medical officer there, and he was like, well, let's go ahead and pass it on over to Dr. So-and-so. And that's exactly what they should have done. You don't try to speak on behalf or speak up this script that a medical professional or a physician has told you. Let them answer the questions, because only they know the answers to it.
Right.
So I think that's why. But any representative from the government that speaks about the vaccine, you're only going to drive more people into not wanting to get it. Just because of the fact that it's like, since when have you ever had people in mind?
Microchips.
Well, I mean,
microchips will also be coming from the government.
The days of the last American crime, they showed you. And this actually happened, I think it was, the time frame was 2025.
Ooh, close.
I want to say it was 2025. And yeah, people were trying to escape to Canada. I might just try to go to Canada now.
I mean, how long have they been trying to make us a cashless society? And the only reason they haven't is because of, embezzlement and fraud and porn. And it's like prostitution, money laundering, and tax evasion and drugs are the only reason we are not a cashless society.
Well, and that's on the backs of white supremacy. Because who can get away with that other than white men?
True.
So,
but I'm like, as soon as we are a cashless society, we're fucked. Like,
we'll never be.
You have to be tagged. Like, you have to have an account. You have to have all your money in that account.
Yeah.
People will only accept that, and that's like the first step. And then they'll be like, well, here, we'll just give you this microchip. It's all your information, all your medical information, all your money, everything you need right here in this little microchip.
It's the Matrix.
And let me tell you, if there is a little apple on it, I will be inserting it in my skin.
So listen, government, if you're listening to this podcast, just try out everything on Fowler. She's willing to sign up as long as it has Apple or Chick-fil-A.
As long as it makes my life a modicum easier, I'll be like, yeah, why not? Let's do it.
No, I saw this one lady on TikTok. You ever seen the chip lady? She has a little chip in her hand that she can unlock like all her she can unlock her cabinets in her house and stuff. She can unlock her car. And I'm like, lady, you're crazy. And she's white.
What? I never heard about that.
Yeah, she's on TikTok.
Mm-hmm. Everything's on TikTok.
It's crazy. Listen, you're not putting no chip up in me. Again,
I watched The Matrix. I know where the rabbit hole goes.
The cell phone is already a microchip.
That's true.
They have a microphone. The apps are listening to you and recording you because you download it, and you don't look at the fine print. You don't look at the permissions. You're just like, oh, okay, to download it. It's a microchip in your hand.
I hate those little infographics on Instagram that'll be like, what is it called when you go and read like the things you sign on the internet before it lets you go somewhere?
Oh, like putting disclosures.
Mm-hmm. And it'll be like for all the social media. Yeah, for all the social media sites, it shows you what they say. And Facebook's is like so long.
It's crazy, and you will never, if you really read it, you wouldn't be on Facebook, but we are. So
But you
it is
have,
what
but
it
it's
is.
like it's one of those things. If everyone else is on it and you have to use it for something, like, you know, to communicate,
Yeah.
to post things, to get whatever, you do it.
Oh, people they look at social media more than look at news channels. I mean, Gen Z and millennials.
That's where we get our news. I'm telling
Yeah.
you, that is. I
the
don't
boomers. The boomers are the only people that are watching Channel 5
have.
News.
Queentha the other day, did she send you that she was on the news?
No.
So she was on San Antonio news because there was a person from here, some kid. Oh, what happened to him?
Send me the link.
I'll send you the link. Something happened to him while he was in somewhere else. So they life flighted him to Houston, but he's from San Antonio. She ended up working with him.
No way.
Yeah, I think he fell off a golf cart and he had
Goddamn.
some like a spinal cord injury or something.
Jesus.
Anyway, so she was on the San Antonio news. She lives in Houston.
Yeah.
And her coworkers were like, "Oh, like maybe your coworkers from San Antonio saw him." And she was like, "I don't think anybody watches the news." And I was like, "Absolutely not. None of us
No.
watch the news. We get on the internet. I get little post alerts and
Yeah.
stuff, but we don't even. None of us have cable. Like
No, I don't have cable.
the only reason
Absolutely
I
not.
would get cable is to watch the news if something happened. But I'm like, worst case scenario, I should
You can just
get
get
on
an
my phone.
antenna. You can just get an antenna, like a little $10
Bunny
antenna.
ears.
That's what I have up here in my loft. I just have only because my big window is there. But yeah, I just look at the news from there. I don't even look at the news. Honestly, the only time I look at the news is when Grey's Anatomy or How to Get Away with Murder went off, and then I just stayed on the couch stuck for the next 10 minutes watching KSAT. But I'm not really
Yeah.
watching KSAT. It's just watching.
At
the
9, it's news. At
Exactly.
10, it's history.
Exactly. So yeah,
I'm an
shout out to Queentha. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
no, good job, girl. But yeah, we're not watching the fucking news. It's
No,
depressing.
it's so
and
depressing.
and everything they said, I've already saw on Twitter for the day.
Listen, I'm depressed going to work, or not going to work, but when I get to work, I see depression in the beds. Okay, then have to come home and watch it again. Oh no,
thank you.
I'm not setting myself up for failure like
Not
that.
us, not today.
No, definitely not. Anything else we need to talk about?
No, this week is going to be subpar, but we're going to get through it.
Yes. So I only have 4 days at work. Thank God. 'Cause I'm
I
off
just
on
remembered
Monday.
you're not going to work tomorrow.
Yes. Well, this will be out when this comes out. I'll be back at work. It's been so great.
You
just
ain't got to
waking up
go to
doing
work,
nothing.
work.
Yeah.
But you got to put in work.
Now I see why like women become housewives.
Dude.
I want to volunteer to be a housewife.
I was never team strong, independent woman who doesn't need a man and wants
Notice
to
I didn't
fucking-
say a stay-at-home mom. Housewife.
No.
I'll do that
I've
too. though.
always been like, what's wrong with getting to run? Like, I think running a house is so much work, right? Like,
It is.
cooking, cleaning, paying bills, keeping up,
Yeah.
keeping up with the Kardashians, if you will.
Oh Jesus.
Not that they ever did their own
You
housework.
always bring them up. Oh, she's getting sued anyway. Or she
yeah,
she
for
got
her
hit with a
skin,
cease and desist.
SK.
Yeah, SKKN.
KKN, yeah.
I love it that a black queen actually came up with
They
this name in
stay
2017.
stealing shit from black
They
women.
really
I
do.
don't know why anyone's surprised.
Yeah, she and that girl hit her with a quick old cease and desist. Oh no, bitch! This is my name. I got to
They always
trademark
do that.
federally.
Dude, I will never forget when she
Love
wanted
it.
to name Skims Kimono, and I literally read the word and I was like, not a good look. Please don't do that.
Stop appropriating people's culture. Why are we seeing any Armenian things from them? Why haven't they had any kind of Armenian names for their stuff? Why is everything just so appropriated? You're Armenian. Let's see your history, man. Come on.
Let's see it, girls.
I
We
mean,
gotta cut it.
Jesus, it's crazy. But anyway, so yeah. All right.
Anyway, I don't know where I was going with that. Oh, anyway, I've never been like, I don't want to stay at home. I've always been like, no, I think that'll be dope.
Yes, absolutely.
Run errands, maybe pick up a PRN shift here and there to feel like I'm still contributing.
Or not.
Pop out a kid if I'm bored,
Yeah.
God willing.
Oh, Jesus. I want to pop out a couple. Anyway. All right, y'all. Have a wonderful week.
Love,
And we'll
light,
see y'all
spread
next
it,
week.
listen to it, manifest, meditate, drink some coffee, serve the Lord. Thank you.
All right. We'll see y'all next time.
Thanks so much for tuning in to another episode of The Face Off with Fleming and Fowler. Don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube at The Face Off Pod. Be sure to tune in to The Face Off every Tuesday where new episodes are released.